Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called 45 Degrees by physicist from Funen. And here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or box. We have turquoise thermometers restrict only even digits, and orange thermometers restrict only odd digits. That is, on a turquoise thermometer, the even digits strictly increase from the bulb end, and likewise for odd digits on an orange thermometer. So this is typical odd-even thermometer rules, which I think physicists from Funen created, and basically he's the only one I think who does this. So it's been actually a lot of fun for me. So I enjoyed these puzzles. But so digits of the unrestricted parity can go anywhere and in any order on a thermometer, and thermometers are strictly dominated by digits of the restricted parity. For example, a 6-cell orange thermometer must have at least 4 odd digits. We don't have 6, unfortunately. We have 8, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, on an 8-digit orange thermometer, you must have at least 5 odd digits, because if you had 4, that would be 4 even and 4 odd on the thermometer, and it's not strictly dominated by the odd digits, which it's the restricted parity. And on these thermometers, so as an example, you could have something along the lines of, I don't know, not 9, 8, 5, and 7. And this works because the only digits which are restricted on orange thermometers are odd digits. So the odd digits must be strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. But the even digits don't have to be. And again, you have to have a sort of a supermajority of digits which must be odd on the odd thermometers, which are the orange ones. And on the turquoise thermometers, you have to have essentially a supermajority of even digits. So you cannot have 50-50, you must have at least greater than 50% of the restricted parity. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, on a 1-length thermometer, it must be the restricted parity. So this is even. On a 4-length thermometer, it has to be at least 3 out of 4, because 2 out of 4 is just 50%. You need a supermajority, so you have to have greater than 50%. So this must be at least 3, and if you try to have 4 even digits on this central thermometer, or on this 4-length thermometer, even thermometer, the problem is you'd have 5 even cells in box 5. So this cannot be 4, it has to be specifically 3 evens and 1 odd. That leaves 4 evens already accounted for in the middle box, so therefore the rest of the digits must be odd. So these are all odd. Let's see. This is 8 in length. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in length. So 4 out of these must be even. This is 8 in length, as we said. So we need at most at least 1 more. That's odd. This is 7, so we need 4 that are even. Okay. So where is Okay. In the central box, where is the even digits? No, that's not the best way of looking at it. So we know actually on an 8-length orange thermometer, you can only have 5 odd digits, right? You're always going to be strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip for the odd digits, and you can only have 5 of them. So therefore, it has to be exactly 5. So that means 1 out of these 3, actually out of these 4 cells, is odd. Um, Therefore, the other 3 are even. That's interesting. Well, say we had the odd here and then another odd in this column, right? For this this 4-length even thermometer. The problem with that is on the other the row then if the columns essentially has one odd both odds in the 8-length odd thermometer and the 4-length even thermometer, that would mean you would have 5 evens in the row. Similarly, if you had 2 odds in the even, I guess what I'm trying to say is 1 out of these 4 cells is odd. 1 out of these 4 cells is odd, right? If you tried to have them in the same row or the same column, the problem is then the remaining digits would have to be all even. So it has to be 1 is in the same column and 1 is in the same row. But you know that then you're going to have 4 out of the 5 in these cells are even. 4 out of the 5 here in these cells are even, right? Because again, you have 8 cells, 2 of them can be odd, and 6 of them have to be even. So since 6 are even, if you tried to have, you can only have 3 in one direction because this is even. That makes 4 total in one direction, and then 3 in the other direction, and that's even. So that's going to leave the remaining digits in those column 5 and row 5 to be odd. So these are odd. These are odd. So now in this 7-length even thermometer, you have 3 odds already, so you know the rest have to be even. So these are all even, and the evens must be strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. So this is 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8. For every length 8 thermometer, you have to have 5 odd digits. So we have 2 here, we have 2 here. We have 4 here again, so that leaves 1 and 3. What digits can this be? It can be 2, 4, 6, or 8, actually. If this is even, it can only be 2. If this is even, it can't be 2. It has to be at least 4. I mean, it can't be 2 here. It's 4 at least. It could be 4 or 6. Can't be 2 or 8. This is... If this is even, it can't be 6. So it's 2. It can't be 2 because it has at least one of these must be smaller than it. So it has to be at least 4 or it's 8. And if this is even, this has to be 2 digits smaller than it, so it's 6 or 8 here. So if this is even, it's 2. Okay, 2 out of 3 here are even. Because that's the supermajority. 2 cannot be here. 2 cannot be here. Where is the 2 in box 5? It has to be one of these 2 cells. So 2 has to be one of these 3 cells here, then. This is always the smallest. It will always have 5 on a 8-length odd thermometer. So this has to be the lowest of the 5 digits, so this is 1. This similarly has 5 odd digits in an 8-length odd thermometer. So this has to be the highest of the 5 odd digits, which is 9. So the remaining digits are 3, 5, and 7 possible. And we don't know about these. So this could be 3, 5, 7. This could be 3, 5, 7. This has to be less than 3 odd digits. So this is 1 or 3. This is less than 2 and greater than 1. So this is 3 or 5. This is greater than 2 odd digits and less than 1. So this is 5 or 7. And this has to be... Actually, this always has to be 9. Because... Right. This always has to be 9. Because otherwise, you're not going to have... This has to be greater than all of the other digits, odd digits, and there are 4 other odd digits here. So this is 9. This could be 1, 3, 5, or 7. This could be 1, 3, 5, or 7. We're not sure. Nine has to be one of these 2, but if this were an odd digit, it would have to be less than all the other odd digits. So this is specifically 9. This could be 1, 3, 5, or 7. This could be 3, 5, 7, or 9. So this is odd. If this... Okay, so if this were odd, the problem with this being odd is that it would have to be 1. Because it has to be lower than all the other odd digits on this 8-length odd thermometer, and you have to have 5. So it would have to be 1. So this cannot be odd, this is even, which forces this to be 4 or 6. Let's see. Similarly, this cannot be odd because then it would have to be 9. So this is even. So this is 4, 6, or 8 here. If this were odd, it would also have to be 1. So that doesn't work here. So this has to be even. Which means this is 4, 6, or 8. And therefore this must be 1. Because it doesn't have any odd digits smaller than it. So this cannot be 1 here. This cannot be 1 here. The 1 has to be one of these 3 cells. We're not sure which. This could be odd still. One must be one of these cells here. 9 has to be one of these cells here. But that doesn't really tell us much. This This can never be 5 or 7. It could be 2, 4, 6, or 3. What else do we have? This is odd, so there's no restriction. Either this is 1 or it's 4, 6, or 8. This is either 7 or it's an even digit. This is either 3 or it's an even digit. This is either 7 or an even digit, so it's 2, 4, 6, or 8, possibly there. This is either... It could be... It has to have 2 digits low... Oh. So if it's an odd digit, it's a 5. If it could be an even digit. So it cannot be 2. It's 4, 4, 6 there then. So if these are odd, so if this is odd, it's 5 at best. It could be 7 though, or it could be 8. 5, 7, or 8. This has to have at least 3, or it could be 3 odd digits higher than it, but it has to have 1 above it. So this is 3, 5, or 7, and it could be 2 and 8. This could be 1, 3, 5 with 2 or 8, because it cannot be anything else. Can't be 4 or 6. This is specifically 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This could have 2 odd digits below it, or it could be 1. So this is 3 or 5. It could be 2, 4, 6 also. This could have 3 odd digits below it, or it could be 1. So this is 3, 5, or 7 with 2, 4, 8. This could be... has to have 2 odd digits below it. So it's at least 5 or 7. It cannot be 9. So this is 5 or 7. It cannot be 9. Or it's 2, 6, and 8. And this could be 9. It cannot be 7. Or it's 4, 6, 8 here. And this is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This digit can be 2. Or it's 1. This is 1 or 2, period. Interesting. This digit cannot be 1, 4, 6, 9, or 1. It cannot be 2 because it must be greater than at least 1 even digit here. So this is at least 8. Cannot be 4 or 6. Or it's 3, 5, or 7 here. This could be less than an even digit. Or it's 2. So it could be 2, 4, 6. Or any of the odd digits. So actually that's everything but 8. Which is not, helpful. Where is the 3 on this odd thermometer? These cannot be 3 because they have to have 2 at least odd digits above it. Sorry. They can only have 2 odd digits at most above it, so this can't be 3. And this can't be 3 because it's not allowed to have a 3 above it because this is even and this is odd. So 3 has to be one of these 3 cells, which means 3 cannot be in this box, in the rest of this box. So this is not 3. This is an even digit. Similarly, where's 7? 7 has to be one of these 3 cells because this can only have 2 odd digits below it, and this does not have an odd digit above it. And there has to be a 7 here, so this cannot be 7. This has to be an even digit too. So these two are even digits, which means we have 3 even digits now in this 8 length odd thermometer. We need a last odd digit, so there must be odd, which forces this to be 5. This is 3, this is 7 then. This can no longer be 5. There's no 5 here or here. These can't be 3 or 7. So 5 has to be one of these 2 cells, which eliminates 5 in the rest of the row. We have 5 odds now in column 5. So this must be even, which forces this to be a 2. Cannot be 3 or 7. This then, we don't know. This cannot be 2 here. This can't be 3 or 7, so it's 4 or 8. Therefore, where is the 6 in this middle box? It has to be one of these 3 cells, so this cannot be 6 here. So one of these 3 is 6. We're not sure which. This can't be 5. It's 3 or 7. This cannot be 5. Where is the 5? Well, this can't be 5 either because it has only one odd digit possibly above it. Where is the 5 then on this 8 length odd thermometer, which must have 5 odd digits strictly increasing. So 5 has to be on here. Well, it can only be here. So this is 5 because this can't be 5 here. And these can no longer be 5 because this has no odd digits above it. This has only 1 at most. And this can't be a 5 because of the 5 in the row. So this is 5 and an odd, which means 3 has to be one of these 2. This has to be 7. This can no longer be 7 here. Where is the 9 on this thermometer? It has to be here. So this is 9 and an odd. This must be even. It cannot be 2. One of these is a 3. We're not sure which. This 7 means none of these can be 7. Therefore, this can never be 5. It can't be 3 or 5 here. One of these is odd, one of these is even. 7 has to be one of these 2 digits, but this cannot be 2. 7 is one of those 2. We have 3, 5, 7, 8 left. 5 and 7 cannot be here. Therefore, they must be here. So this becomes a 5, 7 pair. And this has to be greater than 1 or 3, so it can only be 5 here, which makes that 7. This 5 means this has to be a 3 here, which makes this not a 3. We have, this can't be 3 either. These have to be, this cannot be odd. It has to be greater than 2 other odd digits along the odd thermometer because you have to have a supermajority Therefore, this has to be even and is 6 or 8. Cannot be 9, 7, or 5, which are the only digits possible to be greater than 2 other odd digits. Therefore, this is 3 and odd. These are odd. These are odd. This can no longer be 5. 7 has to be one of these two. We're not sure which. This is 6 or 8. This cannot be 9. It cannot be 5. And these all have to be odd then, because we have to have a supermajority on a 4-length thermometer, which is 3. This can't be 5. This can't be 9. It has to be 7. To be greater than this is 1. This has to be then 3 or 5, but it can't be 3, so this is 5. Let's see. This 6-8 pair eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the box, so this can't be 8. This is 2 or 4. This can't be 3 because of this 3 here. Where's the 3 on this odd thermometer? It must be here. So this is 3. This is even. This can no longer be 7 because of this 7. So this must be an even digit in 8. So this forces this to be 7 and is odd, which makes this a 3. Therefore, this is 7. The remaining digits here are 4, 5, and 6. This can't be 8 because of the 8 in row 3. Whereas the 8 in column 5, it must be one of these two cells. So this cannot be 8. And if this were 8, so this can never be 6. Well, actually, it could be. If this is 6, this is 8, that's 4. Huh. So 8's one of these two. This 8 means this can't be 8, so this is 2, which forces this to be 4. 4 cannot be any of those cells, whereas the 4 in box 5, it has to be here. So this is 4. That means this cannot be even, because then it would not be in order. Therefore, that's odd. This is even, and a 6, that makes this 8, which makes that 5. This cannot be 5. It is an even digit. We have a 4, 6, 4, 6 pair, which eliminates 4 and 6 from the rest of the box. So this is 8. This is odd. We have, what? 5 odds in column 6, and this is, column 6, and this is a 5. So these are 2 evens. And this cannot be 6, so it's a 2, 4 pair. Oops. 2, 4, which eliminates 2 and 4 in the rest of the box. So this cannot be 4. This has to be 6, which makes this 4, which makes that a 6. This 2 means neither of these can be 2. This 2 means this can't be 2, so this is a 1 and is odd. Therefore, this cannot be 1 or odd, and it can't be 2, so it must be 8 and even. That leaves this as an odd, which is 1 or 9. This can't be 4 here. This can no longer be 8. The only possibilities are 3, 5, and 7. So both of these are odd, and both of these are odd, which force both of these to be even. This has to be greater than 1 even digit, so it's 4, 8. This has to be less than 1 even digit, so it's 2, 4, or 6. We have 3 even digits in row 7, so the rest are odd. So these are odd. We have what? 1, 4, and 3 remaining in row 3. This can't be 3, though. This 8 means this can't be 8, so this is 4, which makes this a 2, which makes this 4, which makes that a 2. It also makes that a 6. This 4 means this can't be 4, and therefore this is 1 or 3, which is an odd digit. 2 cannot be here. This is 1, 2, and 9. This is 1, 2, or 9, but this can't be 9 because of that 9 here. We have 3, 7, 9 remaining in row 7, but neither of these could be 7. Where is the 7? In row 7, it has to be here. which means this cannot be 7 here. This digit can be 3, 5, 7, 9, but there's no 3 or 7, so this is 5 or 9. This can be 3, 5, 7, or 9, but it can't be 3, 5, or 7. Therefore, this is 9, which makes this 5, which makes that 3, which makes this a 7. The remaining digits here are 6, 8, and 9, but 9 cannot be here. Therefore, this is a 9 and is the odd. That makes both of these even. The 9 makes this can't be 9, so this is 1, which makes that 9, which makes that 1, which makes that 2, which makes that 9. The 1 also eliminates 1 here, so this is 4. This can no longer be 4. We now know this is even, this is odd, this is even, and this is odd. This 9 eliminates 9 here, so this is 3. This is 9. 3 eliminates 3 here, so this is 1 and 3. This has to be 6, and this must be 8 because of the even digits, and this can't be 8 here. That leaves these digits as 5 and 6, but this can't be 5 because of that 5, so this is 6 and even, which makes this 5 and odd. We have 1 and 2 here. This can't be 1, so this must be 2 and even, and this must be 1 and odd. The remaining digits in row 2 are 2 and 4. They're both even. Remaining digits in row 1 are 3, 6, and 8. This can't be 3 or 6, so this must be 8 here, which is even. This can't be 3, so this is 6 and even. This has to then be 3 and odd. This 6 makes this not a 6, so this is 8, which makes that 6. The remaining digits in column 7 have to be 1 and 7, and this can't be 7, so this is 1, this is 7. These are both odd. We have 2 and 8 remaining in row 8. Therefore, this is 2, which makes that an 8, because this can't be 8. Therefore, this is 4, this is 2. That leaves this as an even and a 4, and this is odd and a, odd and a 5. And that's a solution. Pretty cool, actually. Interesting, like, little aspect of the odd and even thermometers that I hadn't taken into account, which is like when you have the full amount, you know where certain digits have to be, right? So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool use of that restriction there. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.